Thousands of years ago, a civilization built structures that modern engineers say they cannot replicate today. With modern technology, stones weighing 80 tons, lifted to impossible heights with perfect precision, by people who had no machines, no computers, no cranes, nothing we would recognize as technology. And that is just the beginning. Because behind the pyramids, behind the mummies, behind the golden masks, are secrets that have baffled the greatest minds in history. Secrets that governments have tried to hide. Secrets that change everything. We thought we knew about the ancient world. This is the shocking truth behind Egypt's greatest mysteries. Let us start with the most fundamental mystery of all. How did Egyptian civilization appear? Most civilizations develop gradually, centuries of slow progress, from simple villages to complex societies. Egypt did not do this. Around 3100 BC, Egyptian civilization appeared with shocking suddenness. Writing, mathematics, architecture, religion, government, art, all appearing almost fully formed within a remarkably short period. Historians call this the pre-dynastic period transition, and it remains one of the most debated questions in archaeology. Where did this knowledge come from? Some mainstream historians point to gradual development we simply have not fully traced yet. Others point to cultural exchange with Mesopotamia. Some early Egyptian symbols show remarkable similarity to Sumerian writing. But here is what makes Egypt truly extraordinary. At the very beginning of its recorded history, Egyptian civilization was already producing work of extraordinary sophistication. The earliest known Egyptian hieroglyphs are already a fully formed writing system. The earliest known Egyptian architecture is already of remarkable complexity. It is as if someone pressed fast forward on human development, and Egypt jumped from nothing to one of the greatest civilizations in history, almost overnight. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built approximately 4,500 years ago. Still one of the most precisely engineered structures ever created. 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 80 tons. The entire structure covers 53,000 square meters of ground. It is aligned to true north with an accuracy of 0.05 degrees, more precisely than the Greenwich Observatory in London, built with modern instruments. The four sides are equal in length to within 58 millimeters, across a base of 230 meters. These are not approximations. These are measurements that modern construction projects struggle to match. And it was built by people with bronze tools and rope. How? The official explanation? Ramps. Workers used enormous earthen ramps to drag stones on sledges. But here is the problem with the ramp theory. A ramp large enough to reach the top of the pyramid would require more material than the pyramid itself. Where is that material? Where did it go? Alternative Theory 1. Internal ramps. French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin spent years creating computer models suggesting the Egyptians used an external ramp for the lower section and then switched to an internal spiral ramp for the upper portion. Some Egyptologists find this convincing. Others do not. Alternative Theory 2. Water lubrication. A painting discovered in an Egyptian tomb shows workers pouring water in front of a sledge carrying a massive statue. Scientists tested this and discovered that wet sand reduces friction dramatically, making it twice as easy to drag heavy objects. The Egyptians may have used water not just on ramps, but to create something almost like a hydraulic transport system using the Nile's annual floods. The honest answer? 4,500 years later, Nobody knows for certain how the pyramids were built. And that mystery is genuine. Sitting beside the Great Pyramid is a structure that may be even more mysterious: the Great Sphinx of Giza. The largest monolithic statue in the world, carved directly from the bedrock of the Giza Plateau, 73 meters long, 20 meters high. The face of a man, the body of a lion, staring east toward the rising sun. Official Egyptology dates the Sphinx to approximately 2500 BC, built by the pharaoh Khafra alongside his pyramid. But in 1991, a geologist named Robert Schoch made a claim that shocked the archaeological world. He examined the weathering patterns on the Sphinx and its enclosure and concluded that the erosion patterns were caused by water, specifically heavy rainfall. Not wind erosion, not sand erosion, water erosion. The problem? Egypt has been a desert for approximately 5,000 to 7,000 years. For the Sphinx to show water erosion patterns that deep, it would have to have been built before Egypt became a desert, which would push its construction date back to potentially 7,000 to 10,000 BC, thousands of years before mainstream history says Egyptian civilization even existed. Most Egyptologists reject this theory. They point to other explanations for the weathering patterns. But Schoch's geological argument has never been fully refuted. And the question it raises, who built the Sphinx and when, remains one of the most debated questions in archaeology. November 4th, 1922. A team led by British archaeologist Howard Carter, funded by Lord Carnarvon, discovers the sealed entrance to a tomb in the Valley of the Kings. The tomb of the boy pharaoh, Tutankhamun, untouched for 3,300 years. When they broke the seal and entered, Carter described seeing wonderful things. Gold everywhere. 4,000 artifacts of extraordinary beauty. The golden death mask of Tutankhamun, one of the most recognizable objects in human history. But then, people started dying. Lord Carnarvon, the expedition's financier, died just 4 months after the tomb was opened, a mosquito bite that became infected. At the moment of his death in Cairo, his dog back in England reportedly howled and dropped dead. All the lights in Cairo reportedly went out simultaneously. Over the following years, a series of people connected to the tomb's opening died in unusual circumstances. 22 people with direct connections to the discovery died within 10 years, many prematurely. The press called it the curse of the Pharaohs. So, was it real? Modern scientists have proposed several explanations. Ancient bacteria and fungi sealed in the tomb for thousands of years, released when the tomb was opened, could have caused respiratory illness and death in people with weakened immune systems. Radiation from radioactive minerals in some Egyptian artifacts has also been proposed. A 2002 study in the British Medical Journal examined the survival rates of people present at the tomb opening and found that while some did die early, the overall survival rates were not statistically unusual. The curse was probably coincidence. But Lord Carnarvon's dog dying at the exact moment of his death, in a different country, that one still has no scientific explanation. One of Egypt's greatest mysteries is not about the ancient past. It is about knowledge that was lost. The Library of Alexandria. Founded in the 3rd century BC, during the rule of the Greek Ptolemaic dynasty that followed Alexander the Great's conquest of Egypt, at its peak, the Library of Alexandria contained an estimated 700,000 scrolls. Every significant work of science, philosophy, mathematics, history, and literature from the ancient world. Works of Aristotle, Euclid, Archimedes, Eratosthenes, who calculated the circumference of the Earth with remarkable accuracy in the 3rd century BC. Works that are now gone forever. The library was destroyed, but exactly when and by whom is itself a mystery. Some blame Julius Caesar, whose troops accidentally burned part of it in 48 BC. Some blame the Roman Emperor Theophilus, who ordered the destruction of pagan temples in 391 AD. Some blame the Arab conquest of Egypt in 642 AD. Most modern historians believe it was a gradual decline, funding cut, scholars leaving, scrolls deteriorating, rather than one dramatic burning. But the result is the same. Centuries of accumulated human knowledge, gone. What did those scrolls contain? What scientific discoveries? What mathematical breakthroughs? What philosophical insights? We will never know. And that loss may have set human civilization back centuries. Modern science has given us a tool the ancient world could never have imagined: DNA analysis. And when scientists began applying it to Egyptian mummies, the results were surprising. In 2017, scientists from the Max Planck Institute published a groundbreaking study. They successfully extracted and analyzed DNA from 90 ancient Egyptian mummies spanning 1,300 years of Egyptian history. Their findings challenged assumptions that Egyptologists had held for decades. Ancient Egyptians were genetically distinct from modern Egyptians. They showed closest genetic relationships to ancient peoples of the Near East, modern-day Israel, Jordan, and Turkey. Sub-Saharan African genetic influence, which is significant in modern Egyptians, was largely absent in ancient Egyptians. This suggests that ancient Egyptian civilization was built by a people who were genetically connected to the ancient Near Eastern world, and that significant population changes occurred in Egypt after the ancient period. The study also revealed something extraordinary about mummification. The specific chemicals Egyptian embalmers used, including compounds derived from plants that do not grow in Egypt, confirm that ancient Egypt maintained sophisticated trade networks reaching as far as Southeast Asia. 3,000 years ago, ancient Egyptians were importing materials from the other side of the world for their most sacred rituals. The more we learn, the more extraordinary they become. Perhaps the most breathtaking mystery of ancient Egypt is the relationship between Egyptian monuments and the stars. The 3 pyramids of Giza are aligned with extraordinary precision to match the 3 stars of Orion's belt. Not approximately, precisely. The relative positions and sizes of the 3 pyramids mirror the relative positions and brightness of the 3 stars, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, almost exactly. This alignment was first proposed by researcher Robert Bauval in 1983 and has been both celebrated and debated ever since. But Bauval went further. He noted that due to a phenomenon called precession, the slow wobble of the Earth's axis over thousands of years, the alignment of the pyramids to Orion's belt was most perfect not in 2500 BC when they were supposedly built, but around 10,500 BC, which, if true, would again push the origins of Egyptian astronomical knowledge thousands of years further back than mainstream history acknowledges. Other alignments are less controversial, but equally remarkable. The Great Pyramid's air shafts point precisely to specific stars that were religiously significant to the ancient Egyptians. The Abu Simbel Temple is aligned so that twice a year, on February 22nd and October 22nd, sunlight penetrates 60 meters into the temple and illuminates the faces of the statues inside. Every year, for 3,200 years, without a single adjustment. These are not accidents. These are achievements of astronomical and engineering precision that we are still struggling to fully explain. After everything we have explored, the impossible pyramids, the ancient Sphinx, the cursed tomb, the lost library, the DNA surprises, the astronomical alignments, what does it all tell us? It tells us something deeply important. We know far less about the ancient world than we think we do. Modern civilization has a habit of assuming that intelligence, sophistication, and knowledge are recent developments, that our ancestors were primitive, that history is a simple straight line from primitive to advanced. Egypt destroys that assumption completely. Here was a civilization, 4,500 years ago, that understood astronomy, mathematics, medicine, chemistry, architecture, and engineering at a level that still challenges our best modern minds. A civilization that built structures aligned to the stars with precision we struggle to explain, that preserved human bodies so perfectly we can extract their DNA thousands of years later, that maintained trade networks spanning the ancient world. Egypt does not just give us mysteries, Egypt gives us humility. The humility to recognize that human beings have been extraordinary for far longer than our history books acknowledge, and that the greatest discoveries about our ancient past are probably still waiting to be found. The pyramids still stand. After 4,500 years of wind, sand, and time, they still stand. The Sphinx still watches the horizon. The mummies still hold their secrets. And underneath the sands of Egypt, archaeologists estimate that less than 30% of ancient Egypt's monuments and artifacts have even been discovered yet. 70% is still buried, still waiting, still holding answers to questions we have not yet thought to ask. Egypt is not just the past. It is a living mystery that keeps revealing new layers every time we look deeper. If this video changed how you think about ancient Egypt, like it. It helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest civilizations and unsolved mysteries. And tell me in the comments, which Egyptian mystery do you find most impossible to explain? I will see you in the next one.